Hey guys, welcome to Red50. Thank you for tuning into another video. If you're new to the channel, thank you for stopping by. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. So today's video, we're going to be talking about the interior of the upcoming all-new S650 Mustang, which will be the 7th generation of the Mustang. We have some leaked spy shots of the interior of the S650 Mustang, and I am very excited to be discussing what features we're going to have on the interior of the S650 Mustang. So the new Mustang is supposed to be launched on September the 14th at the Detroit Auto Show. I plan to be at the Detroit Auto Show to bring you the latest coverage with the new Mustang. So since pretty much beginning of the year, we've seen lots of spy shots being leaked, but mainly for the exterior. A lot of rendering artists have been hard at work like Chaz Cron to give us the S650 Mustang renders, and I discussed these renders in detail in a separate video. I'll leave a link in the description if you do want to check it out. So while the exterior of the all-new S650 Mustang has received lots of attention, the interior did not have that many leak shots for us to talk about. While we do have some leak shots that actually show more than you would expect, and since the launch is only less than a month away, I think it would be a perfect time to look at these interior spy shots. So without further ado, here is the interior of the all-new S650 Mustang. Now you may be wondering, since it's camouflage and covered, how do we really know that this is the interior of the all-new S650 Mustang? Well, if you look at the stack of the buttons right below the infotainment screen, we can see the pony logo, which pretty much confirmed that this is going to be the new Mustang's interior. So I mean, right off the bat, we can see some major changes in terms of how the interior is laid out. It seems more driver focused as the infotainment screen is tilted towards the driver, which in my opinion looks really good. I like how we finally have a flat bottom steering wheel, an option only reserved for the Shelbys in the S550 Mustang generation. And also looking at the automatic transmission, the shifter seems to be straight out of the S550 Mustang, which is a pretty good shifter to begin with. You do see M instead of S that you would see on your S550 Mustang, so perhaps the sport mode is being referred to as the manual mode, kind of like the GT500s. Okay, so now let's dive deeper into these spy shots and discuss in detail what to expect of the interior for all new Mustang. First off, let's talk about the digital dash. Alright, so the layout of the digital dash looks completely revived. The dash in my 2019 Mustang GT seems to have this curvature on the corners, while this one seems to be more of a rectangle. The graphics and the themes are also completely new and revised and are not carrying over from the S550 Mustang, which means more customization and just a brand new look for the all-new Mustang. Now zooming a little, you can actually see more features within the digital dash that will be basically applicable to the S650 Mustang. We will have the active exhaust, as you can see from that icon. Like we talked about, the S mode has turned into M mode for manual, similar to what we saw in the GT500. We do have the tiny Mustang car right over there, which is similar to the S550 Mustang, which could be your mode selector. So you'll have your normal, Sport Plus, track mode, drag mode, and all that good stuff. We can also see the paddle shifters on the steering wheel, which actually look more premium than the plastic ones we've got on the S550 Mustangs. I'm not a huge fan of this, but I believe if I look at the bottom right corner, I do see the auto start stop option there. I feel like with Mustangs, a lot of people modify their exhaust, so if you're sitting in traffic with auto start stop with the loud exhaust like my Corsa Extreme, it's going to be very annoying for the drivers around you to constantly turning on and off the car. Maybe there's a way to permanently disable it, or have the setting available, because I know some cars you're not allowed to permanently disable it. You'll have to do it every time you start the car, which would get really annoying for the Mustang owners. Okay, so now let's move on to the infotainment system. So now let's discuss that. I'm not sure why this is, but this does not look like the Sync 4 system. I'm pretty sure they're not going to be making an all-new system just for the Mustang, so maybe it's a prototype or somewhat of an internal system that we're seeing, but this has no resemblance to the Sync 4 systems I've tested in Ford F-150 or even the Mach-E's. Anyways, the screen looks much bigger than the 8-inch screen that we're used to seeing with the Sync 3 system that S550 Mustang gets. This one looks to be about 10 to 12 inches. I can't be 100% sure on this one due to the steering wheel being in the middle of this shot, but it almost looks like the screen is going to be a continuation of the digital dash, similar to what we're seeing in a lot of cars these days, especially electric vehicles. So this might be something Ford is setting up, so once they move the Mustang to the EV platform, it's going to have a really nice dash and kind of be aligned with what other car manufacturers are doing for their EVs. Now, if you look at the on-screen graphics, you can see the steering wheel has the pony logo, again confirming this will be the new Mustang's interior. Now let's look at some of these buttons that are right below the AC vents or right below the infotainment system. The AC vents actually remind me of the ones from the 2013-2014 Mustangs. Alright, so the buttons that are laid out, you've got your engine start button, which is obvious, and like we said on the digital dash, this one is the auto start stop. I'm hoping you can permanently disable it, otherwise you would have to press this button every time you start the car. You've got the pony button, which I'm assuming will be for all the customization. You've got your traction control, flasher, and not sure what this star really is. Some sort of a favorite, or maybe, I don't know, some subscription. I really hope we're not seeing some subscription in the S650 Mustang. So I'm kind of curious as to what this button is. And then lastly, we've got the rear defrost and of course the volume knob here. Alright, so let's transition to the transmission shifter area. So as we said, the shifter seems to be straight out of the S550 Mustang. I've got the same one in my 2019 Mustang GT, which, I mean, it's not a bad place to be. It looks very nice. It's got a kind of cool, unique look to it, and of course got a lot of leather around it, so which gives you a little bit of a premium feel. We will have the manual parking brake, as you can see from the shots, and looks like we'll also get the USB charging here. It would be nice to have a wireless charging, but I honestly don't know if the Mustang interior will have enough space to accommodate wireless charging. So that's pretty much it for the interior features that we can kind of extract out of these few spy shots we got for the interior. Now, since this here is well covered, aside from the items we just discussed, it's difficult to tell what the interior quality is going to be in terms of the materials used. I was looking forward to be having some inclination of what the interior is going to be like, because Mustangs have been known to have bad interiors. I'm pretty content with mine because it does offer a lot of technology, but the interior build quality and the materials used seems a little bit to be desired from a general perspective. Now, based on what I see so far, it honestly does not seem all that impressive. The infotainment screen area seems to have a lot of plastic. The leather and the softer materials are really only seen around areas kind of similar to this S550 Mustang, which is like the transmissions, obviously steering wheel, your doors, and your manual parking brake and all of that stuff. S550 Mustang interior is pretty good. It's also an 8-year-old vehicle. It is exciting to be seeing all these tech advancements with the new S650 Mustangs, but I would have expected to see a bit more of a premium interior, especially for the prices that we're going to be seeing with the new S650 Mustangs. Well guys, there we have it on the S650 Mustang. I'm really excited to be seeing this interior in person very soon, and hopefully we'll have a lot more confirmation with features and materials are going to be used in the S650 Mustang. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to smash that like button, comment below what do you think of the interior of the S650 Mustang. What do you personally want to see in terms of the features that will be brought in with the S650 Mustang? And as always, subscribe to Red 50 for more Mustang content.